Once you can think in a targeted language, you are showing that you have the capacity of having comprehension in that language. Now, to actually think in that language is not something that you should expect to just come. You have to force it. When you are taking inputs and then trying to produce outputs, in between that space is the thinking. And you have to force that, obviously, because if you don't know the words, you wouldn't just naturally start thinking them. If you were to take the limited amount of a language that you have, you start targeting the sentences that you would be able to practice and say, whether you know them or not. But the idea is that you can start formulating them, and even if you fail, it doesn't matter because you are trying to create that output. So if I'm going through the structure of saying, my name is Jack, I'd go mi name, nombre is as Jack. Mi nombre es Jack. Obviously, now in this case, we would learn, hey, this probably isn't the most correct way of saying that. I would say, me llamo Jack, instead of my name is, it's I'm called Jack. These are the things that you would learn after the fact, but it's irrelevant because you want to know how you would structure that sentence regardless. In trying to create those sentences, you are creating the output without saying the output. Now, you're going to want to do that at some point in time, or else you're just going to have a shitty accent like me because I haven't really spoken Spanish in the last 12 years since moving to the States. But in the formulation of the thought, you are creating an output. You can check if that output is correct, obviously, by speaking it to somebody who will tell you, or you translate it from the internet, because we don't have to look at books anymore. We take advantage of that thing that we have that other people didn't have. Learning a language is easier now than it has ever been because you can actually check immediately if you are correct or not. But to do that, you have to force the thought process. You cannot just take inputs and think, hey, I know what this language is, just being able to identify words, because without proper context, you don't know how accurate you are, and nobody's telling you because you haven't created anything to tell you, hey, this was right or this was wrong. And thinking is the first step in that.